26 अक्टोबर दिनको 3 बजे चाइना फौजले हाम्रो प्रेसिडेन्टको उपर फायर सुरु गर्यो। तो
The history of mankind has produced brave men, the legends of whom are told through the ages.
6 बजे उसले हाम्रो पल्टनको उपर धावा बोल्यो।
The men who tread with feet of valor, the men who fly with an indomitable spirit. Two centuries ago, on the hills of Nepal, 600 dauntless warriors withstood the onslaught of 6,000 whites for 30 days before the last Nepali warrior succumbed. Although victorious, the British realized that this warrior race should not be faced as enemy, but as worthy comrades. In 1817, the brave Thakuris and Kshetris were incorporated by the British as the Fatehpur Levy, origin of today's 9th Gorkha Rifles.
After 1857, the regiment moved to Banaras in 1860. In 1894, the regiment got a Gorkha character, and the 9th Gorkha Rifles were the first one to exclusively recruit Kshetris, and also another sub-tribe of that is Thakuris, Thakur and Kshetris. And the British themselves were not very confident about the fighting qualities of this particular tribe, the First and the Second World War. They showed their worth, and they found that they were the best troops, or even better than the other tribes of Nepal. It was in 1904 that the 2nd Battalion of the regiment, with the same caste and tribe, that is the Kshetris, was raised in the Garhwal Hills. And when these two battalions were raised, it was decided to move from the Garhwal Hills and have a different home for them at a place called Birpur in Dehradun. So both the battalions moved out and came to Dehradun, where they set up their 9th Gorkha Regimental Centre, which continued to be there till 1976, when they were moved again from Dehradun to Varanasi.
By the year 1914, one of the deadliest conflicts of human history paved the way for the Great World War. In wake of this war, the 3rd Battalion was raised on 5th June 1917 at Birpur, Dehradun, with Lieutenant Colonel A.C.B. Mackinnon as commanding officer. The regiment distinguished itself in many battles and campaigns in World War I. During an advance in Shimran, Mesopotamia on 23rd February 1917, Major George Campbell Wheeler exhibited gallantry of the highest order and eventually became the regiment's first recipient of the Victoria Cross. Within just 2 decades of the Great War, world peace vaporized into a world war again, and the destiny of the 9 Gorkhas turned a new page to be written upon. The regiment actively participated in various theatres of war in Malaya, the Middle East, the Central Mediterranean, and Burma. The sweeping fame of the Kukri led to the re-raising of the 3rd and 4th Battalions on 1st October 1940 and 9 September 1940. 1944, the Allied forces pressed their way into Italy, and the formidable Gustav Line posed the biggest obstacle to their advance, with the most intense German and Italian fortifications focused on the town of Monte Cassino. The 1st Battalion basked in the glory of valor at the legendary Battle of Monte Cassino, capturing the critical feature of Hangman's Hill as part of the 4th Indian Division. Their extraordinary ordeal on Hangman's Hill had provided one of the epics of the war, for which the battalion was awarded the Battle Honour Cassino. It was during the operation in San Marino, Italy, wherein rifleman Sher Bahadur Thapa wrote a proud page in the history of the 9th Gorkha Rifles, and was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross for displaying immense feat of gallantry and making the supreme sacrifice while attempting to evacuate wounded comrades. To crush the might of Red Sun, the 3rd Battalion and 4th Battalion took part in deep penetration operations inside Japanese-occupied territory in the Burma campaign as part of General Wingate's legendary Chindit's force. Major Blaker of the 3rd Battalion was conferred with the Victoria Cross and Military Cross during the Chindit operations. Both the battalions were conferred with the Battle Honours Chindits and the Theatre Honour Burma for the gallant offensive action against Japan. 1947 saw the birth of a new independent India. Soon after, the 4th Battalion was demobilized as part of the general demobilization of Indian Army. Before the dust could barely settle, Pakistan launched insurgent operations in Kashmir, and the 1st and the 3rd Battalions were actively involved in Akhnur, Cham, Naushera and Poonch sectors, playing an instrumental role in saving the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Soon after the occupation of Tibet, the expansionist policy of China headed into various parts of the Indian territory in 1962. The 1st Battalion was the only force which undertook offensive action at Sangdhar in Namkachu Valley. Major SPS Shrikant was awarded the Mahavir Chakra for his gallant actions while saving the battalion headquarters. The 4th Battalion, which was earlier reprised on 9 September 1961, headed to defend the Northeast Territories before the announcement of unanimous ceasefire between India and China.
49 Gorkha Rifles was ordered to move over to Adampur, and from Adampur we were flown up to Tezpur. The task assigned to us that time at Tezpur was then move over to the closest places up to Balkpong, up to which place the Chinese was known to have come. And we were prepared to defend to the last man, last round at Balkpong. Somehow that time, because of the political pressure, the international pressures and others, the Chinese declared unilateral ceasefire. And thereafter, the 4th and 9th Gorkha Rifles had very onerous task to move forward, keeping in mind that as the Chinese are withdrawing, move as forward as possible. And we moved right up to Drangzong, that is beyond Bomdila. And there we established our covering troops. And we were there till about 65, till we fully established our right up to Tawang with the 4th and 9th Gorkha Rifles.
In the 1965 war with Pakistan, the 1st Battalion fought several actions in Khemkaran and Asal Uttar sector during Operation Brittle, while the 2nd was part of Operation Ablaze in Sama sector. The 5th Battalion, raised on 1st January 1963, fought valiantly at the Philora crossroad and was awarded Battle Honour Philora and Theatre Honour Punjab for its outstanding bravery. By 1971, atrocities of Pakistani army had reached inhuman heights in East Pakistan, which created an urgent need of intervention by India. Once again, cookeries of 9 Gorkhas flashed. The 2nd Battalion acquitted itself with distinction in Operation Cactus Lily, for which it was conferred with the Battle Honour Kumar Khali and Theatre Honour East Pakistan. Major A.P. Datta had the singular honour of being decorated with a Veer Chakra for his daring actions as the company commander. At the same time, the 1st Battalion was assigned the task of capturing the Dera Baba Nanak enclave on the western frontier. The battalion assaulted on the massive fortifications of Pakistan Army with unrelenting fury, tales of which still echo in the annals of military history. For mauling the Pakistani plans with such intensity, the 1st Battalion was awarded Battle Honour Dera Baba Nanak, winning 2 Veer Chakra, 4 Sena medals and 4 mentioned in dispatches.
When the 10 Gorkhas wanted to cross over River Ravi, the tanks could not cross. So they dismounted and started walking towards their objective. A period of half an hour passed, 1 hour passed, almost 2 hours passed. I spoke to our brigade commander, Brigadier Gauri Shankar, that please let me go to capture my area. Now he was rather surprised. He was also very, very worried at that time because he could not get through to 10 Gorkhas. I remember that after all the firing on the bunkers of Pakistan, they were concrete bunkers. There were about 11 concrete pillboxes, and there were 500 meters of concrete tunnels. We never knew that they had made concrete pillboxes and concrete bunkers. And by about 4 o'clock in the morning, we had captured our area.
पल्टन को प्लानिंग अनुसार 1971 6 दिसंबर को बिहान 4 बजे अट्याक गर्ने प्लानिङ भयो। जो अट्याक सफल पार्नको लागि कमान्डो टिमलाई 10 बजे गएर 2 बजेको भित्र बाटो हेरेर रेकी गरेर पल्टनलाई गाइड गरेर लैजाने भनेर आदेश भयो। जस अनुसार कमान्डो अघि बढ्यो। अँधेरो रात झाडीको बीचमा जाँदा अचानक दुश्मनको लगभग 50 मिटर अगाडि 1 नम्बर स्क्वाड पुग्यो र दुश्मनले थाहा पायो र उसले भन्यो उसको फौजलाई स्ट्यान्डको खबर गर्यो र तुरुन्तै हामीले पनि अब अट्याक गर्ने प्लानिङ गरेर कमान्डोले कमान्डो रेड गर्ने, पल्टनलाई अट्याकको लागि एडभान्स गर्ने सिओ साहबलाई आदेश दियो र तुरुन्त धावा पुकारेर गर्ने भनेपछि लसनायक इन्द्रबहादुर धुसी बाँधको दाहिनेबाट बङ्करको माथि गएर एलएमजीको बैरल थुतेर आफ्नो कब्जामा लियो र साथसाथै अरू कमान्डो टिमले कमान्डो रेड आयो गोर्खाली धावा पुकारेर आफ्नो भएको जे हतियार थियो त्यसैबाट इस्तेमाल गर्दै आयो गोर्खाली धावा अट्याक गर्न सुरु गर्यो। साथसाथै अगाडि सपोर्ट फायर पनि भयो र पछिबाट डेल्टाको पनि साथसाथै आएर उसले पनि हमला गर्दै कर्नलसम्म डेल्टा कम्पनीले कभर गर्यो। त्यसपश्चात चार्ली कम्पनी, तत्पश्चात ब्राभो र अल्फा कम्पनीले डिबियन बीचको बायाँपट्टिको कभर गर्यो।
In the same war, the 3rd Battalion saw action in Shakargarh sector in Punjab against a big concentration of Pakistani forces. It was awarded Theatre Honour Punjab 1971, winning 3 Veer Chakra and 1 Sena Medal in the operations. The 4th Battalion was deployed in the Lam sector in Jammu and Kashmir, where it captured an enemy post Suknaban, which was renamed Shantaram, in memory of the courageous officer 2nd Lieutenant Shantaram, who was martyred during the attack. Brigadier Anand Vishwanath Natu of the 4th Battalion displayed exemplary courage in 1971 as the brigade commander. In the heroic defense of Poonch sector, he was awarded the Mahavir Chakra for his outstanding leadership and was hailed as the savior of Poonch. Over the years, battalions of 9 Gorkha Rifles have acquitted themselves with creditable professionalism in various operations like Operation Raksha, Operation Vijay, and Operation Parakram in J&K, Operation Blue Star in Punjab, Operation Bajrang and Rhino in the Northeast. Lieutenant Colonel P.N. Kakkar was awarded the Shaurya Chakra for his exceptional bravery during the counter-insurgency operations of Naga Hills in 1956. While commanding the 42 Rashtriya Rifles, the brave son of 2nd Battalion, Colonel M.N. Rai, Shaurya Chakra, Yuddha Seva Medal, laid down his life in the field of duty on 27 January 2015 while facing off Pak-trained terrorists in Tral area of Jammu and Kashmir. In a heart-wrenching scene, while paying homage to the mortal remains of her brave father, the daughter of late Colonel Rai shouted the regimental war cry. Second 9 GR Hoke Hoina, even in the highly emotional state, which encapsulates the regimental loyalty and ethos. Needless to say, this poignant video went viral over the social media. The 4th and 5th Battalion have proved their mettle in the toughest and highest battlefield of Siachen, braving both hostile weather and the enemy. Every battalion of the regiment is the proud recipient of Chief of Army Staff Unit Citation for counter-terror operations and several General Officer Commanding-in-Chief citations for outstanding performance in both peace and war. 9 Gorkha Rifles has also excelled in international peacekeeping missions. The 5th Battalion had been a member of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon from November 2000 to December 2001, earning kudos for each humanitarian actions. Apart from their exploits on the battlefield, the Kanchas of 9 Gorkha Rifles have garnered international fame at professional competitions like the prestigious Cambrian Patrol Championship at Wales, UK, where the 3rd and the 4th Battalions have had the singular honour of winning silver and gold medals respectively amidst more than 100 participating countries. The rugged Kshetri physique of the men of 9 Gorkha Rifles has shined bright in national and international championships of traditional sports like football and boxing, as well in the world of shooting and mountaineering. Subedar Major Neem Bahadur unfurled a tricolour and the regimental colours atop the daunting Mount Everest on 2nd June 2005, bringing fame and acclaim to the regiment. The regiment is proud of its heritage and boasts of a large number of second-generation officers who are carrying the illustrious batons of commitment to the nation, handed to them by their fathers. The regiment has a galaxy of high-ranking officers in its proud history, including 13 major generals and 8 lieutenant generals till now, as many more promising officers await the glory of their careers. Lieutenant General B.K.N. Chibber of 9 Gorkha Rifles had owned the high office of Governor of Punjab and is popularly regarded as the architect of solving the Punjab crisis. This year, 9 Gorkha Rifles celebrates the completion of 200 glorious years of dedicated service to the nation. This historic milestone was suitably commemorated on 4th February at Pokhara in Nepal, where over 3,500 of our bureaus with their families and Veer Nadis were present. The event was graced by the presence of General Rajendra Chetri, Chief of Army Staff of Nepal Army, and Shri Ranjit Rai, Ambassador of India to Nepal. On 30th January, a motorcycle rally was flagged off from Delhi by General Bipin Rawat, Chief of Army Staff. The rally drove through the traditional recruiting areas of the regiment in western Nepal, honoring many ex-servicemen, and arrived at Pokhara for the event. As time marches, the formidable spirit of the 9 Gorkha Rifles spreads its golden wings, soaring the great heights of valor and loyalty. As India moves forward, the cross cookeries continue to stand between the enemies and the sovereignty of our great nation.
For any regimental officer, it's a matter of greatest pride if he is the colonel of the regiment. More so for me, because I am the colonel of the regiment of the valiant and courageous 9th Gorkhas. Our history has been written by the brave Kanchas, our budos, by their deeds in all wars for the last 200 years. When we meet today to celebrate 200 years of glory of the 9th Gorkha Rifles, we should all remember with pride our forefathers whose sacrifice, whose blood, toil has ensured that the regiment's name is there in the portals of our great Indian Army. Let us today take an oath that we will continue to honor that great lineage which we belong to by our deeds and actions, and follow our motto, Kafir hono banda marno niko, meaning it is better to die than be a coward. I today also take this opportunity to convey best wishes to all in Nepal, India, and the brave soldiers who are serving today all over in the Indian Army from the 9th Gorkha Rifles. I convey my best wishes to you and to your family. And in the end, I would like to say, Kaal le aukhati chhena, hukum le jawab chhena. There is no answer for an order like there is no answer for death which ultimately comes. Jai Hind, Jai Gorkha.